Mike Tyson is one of the most legendary athletes of the 20th century. Tyson's claim to fame is a unique combination of spectacular boxing knockouts together with a tumultuous life of excesses with incredible highs and incredible lows. So in this video we are going to analyze what Mike Tyson can teach us about life success. These 7 laws are proven and universal. Ignore them at your own peril.
Tyson seemed to have destroyed himself as spectacularly as he burst upon the scene.
Tyson was never meant to be a great champion. He didn't have the character. He was meant to be a shooting star. He was meant to be a sensational shooting star. He's a little weak personality as far as being, he's easily misled. He needs love. He needs a boost. He needs confidence, somebody to be there with him.
Mike Tyson had a big ego, but very fragile and low self-esteem. With time, he understood that.
My whole life lived off my ego. I was a megalomaniac with a low self-esteem.
Low self-esteem is like an internal black hole, and you need to fill the black hole with external sources of validation. Older Tyson also understood that.
Listen, I didn't want to become a fighter because I liked his technique. He was awesome. He was smart. I liked the fighter because I liked the way the reporters talked about great fighters. I've read about great fighters in the 18, 19, and I read how the people wrote about them. I said, fuck, this guy's almost like he's talking about Jesus. And that's what attracted me to fighting, the way the reporters wrote about the guys.
In that video, he's basically saying that his life choices were to seek external validation. Attention that can be used as motivation, but it also comes with major downsides that you want to address. If you don't address your need and craving for positive validation, any life event and any individual can push your buttons with negative judgment at will, and that will send you into an emotional tailspin. In these examples, Mike Tyson lashes out because he feels judged by others, and that hurts him.
Well, for example, rage against Evander Holyfield worked against you.
Well, it. It's a fight, so whatever happens, happens.
Mike, why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. Do you have a problem? Turn off your station.
You know what? I think we'll end the discussion right now.
Then we could.
You got it. Have a nice fight, Mike.
Off.
It's so interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit.
Hey,
with that comment.
Come on.
No, that was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit.
We're gonna wrap up this interview. Thank you for coming in.
Fuck you.
Law 2. Sell the hype. Never buy it. Most people cluster around the average. They are average in most of what they do, and they lead boring and average lives. But they dream of being more powerful and confident, and they are awed by excesses. And that's where you step in. You're gonna sell them that dream. You will offer them to live off vicariously in your life of abundance, extremes, and excesses. Don King was great at flaming Tyson's hype to rake in millions, a similar formula used by Muhammad Ali before Tyson and by McGregor and Valentino Rossi in other sports. Tyson and Rossi also hyped up their animalistic and dangerous side to intimidate their opponents, which is a great example of psychological warfare. If you can play up your animalistic and dangerous side, go for it. Luckily and unluckily, Tyson was groomed from the beginning to believe in his own invincibility. Cus D'Amato did it for him.
Cus got into the head of every boxer and drove the idea that he would become a champion. If you doubted even for a second, the coach was furious and could kill, Tyson recalled.
He made me believe I was the best fighter the world has ever produced.
This is something you must be careful of. It can be helpful, but it can also play against you. As you reach the peak, there will be no shortage of people who will help you to believe your own hype. Sycophants want to stay on your payroll. Groupies want to get in your pants. The media needs to sensationalize everything to sell, and starstruck men want to believe the hype and feed it back to you. See Eminem doing it here.
I still feel like you still look like you could punch a fucking brick wall and put a hole in that bitch.
Yeah.
I saw recently. I just gotta say, like, I bro, you are like a god to me. Like I
Before you know it, the acronym GOAT starts making the rounds. Now you're the baddest man on the planet, fearless, invincible. But remember, hype is to be told and sold, never bought. You're a pusher of hype, and you never get high on your own hype supply. Tyson did get high on his own hype supply.
I really thought I was somebody special then, because no one's ever done that, not even Muhammad Ali. And then once again, I let everything go away, and I believed I was a god. I believed I was. Because when I was a little kid and I won the title, I fell so in love with that illusion of myself and shit. My ego took over, and I'm like Tyson, I'm the best to ever live, and all this bullshit. And
I started hearing him saying different things. I'm the baddest man on this planet. No one can be on this planet. You never know what's gonna happen.
Mike's techniques eroded, and when the other guy starts throwing punches, Mike starts getting hit because he doesn't practice the techniques anymore. And when you add the combination together, and a very finely tuned Buster Douglas, confident, trained, at the right spot at the right time, very relaxed, trying, doing his best, it was the wrong combination for Tokyo. And Mike got knocked out in 10 rounds.
Like so many before him, Tyson got complacent, stopped training, and got soft. The worst combination is you believing your own hype and your opponent wanting to prove it wrong. And as a rule of thumb, the better and more dangerous your opponent, the less likely he is to believe the hype. See how Holyfield not only ignored Tyson's hype, but turned it on its head.
Figured if Mike could do it, I could do it.
So that gave you inspiration.
That gave me inspiration.
Worst of all is what happens when you eventually lose. If your ego is built around the false hype of invincibility, the inevitable first loss will destroy you at a mental level. In Tyson's case, after Buster Douglas' loss and over the past decade, his life unraveled.
In anything, if you want to be the best garbage can collector in the world, anytime you want to be the best in the world at anything, there's going to be disappointment.
Yeah. Yep.
There's a lot of competition, and there's going to be guys that peak at younger age that he's going to blow you away when he's a kid, and then you're going to deal with a guy that blows you away when he's an old guy.
Yeah.
And then it's going to come the time when you're experienced enough, the next thing you know, you start blowing everybody else. Everybody gets their turn.
Yeah.
You know, that's just what it is. Everybody gets their turn.
Yeah, but it's like you're